If you've been feeling exhausted, struggling to lose weight, battling brain fog, feeling freezing all the time, even with thyroid meds, you might be missing a hidden connection between your liver, thyroid, and iodine. Today, I'll show you how these three things work together, how to spot the connection if the connection is broken, and the exact steps to straighten it out. So, I personally have a liver iodine, incredible story. So, in 2019, I started a transformation. I didn't know it at that time. The things I started to do were actually starting to help my liver because I started taking some supplements that had liver nutrients in them, and I started to feel a lot better. And it really helped with my transformation. Then in 2022, I had some scans done and I realized that my gallbladder was full of sludge. And it was so then just by deductive reasoning, I realized that my liver and my gallbladder were having a lot of problems, or they had been. And thank God that I had started that intervention because I may have lost my gallbladder like my mom and my grandma did. So I didn't intentionally seek out to heal my liver and gallbladder, but I did it as part of the journey, the health journey that I started on. So I started to heal my liver and gallbladder. And then in 2023, I think what happened was I was starting to have some perimenopause symptoms. I was also kind of really stressed out about some things going on in my life. And I stumbled on iodine. And I started taking iodine, and immediately I felt so much better because I was struggling with low energy, inability to focus, and brain fog and depression. I felt like the world was kind of crushing down on me, like I was being crushed on all sides. And I stumbled on iodine and I started taking it, and immediately all those symptoms started going away. And it was incredible. And then I realized that I'd had this liver thyroid iodine problem in my entire life. And MTHFR was a part of that. But I had a sluggish liver, I had a sluggish thyroid, and I was iodine deficient. And all of those things were playing a role in how I felt. Starting in middle school, I was always exhausted. I just remember thinking, what is wrong with me? How come I have so little energy and everybody else around me seems to have abundant energy? I was always tired. I feel like I've been battling, or I had been battling, fatigue and sort of a mild depression my entire life until 2019 when I started healing my liver. And that just brought in, at that same time, I had just completed my functional nutrition training, and I had discovered how important the liver was in bile flow. And it just really resonated with me. And we're a lot of times we're guided to the things that we need, and we just happen to stumble on them, but really it's we're kind of guided to that solution. So for some reason, the liver and the gallbladder just became I became fascinated with it. And I realized that is actually what my body needed. I needed liver healing, I needed thyroid healing, and I needed iodine. Okay, so it has made a massive difference in my life. I no longer wonder why don't I have any energy? I don't battle a low level depression. I feel good, I feel joyful. And so supporting the liver, thyroid, and iodine connection has been huge in my life and for many of my clients and for my kids. I started my kids on iodine. They said it was life-changing. I started a lot of my clients on iodine, and they cannot believe the difference. It takes care of their afternoon crash. They have so much more energy. It is absolutely amazing. So this is a really important topic, and a lot of women are actually deficient in iodine. If you've never supplemented with iodine, you're probably iodine deficient. And if you've had a baby or more than a couple babies, you are even more iodine deficient because we pass iodine down to our children. So when you give, you grow a baby, you give them some of your iodine stores and you become even more depleted. And what does your body do when you don't have enough iodine? It starts using other molecules that can substitute, like chlorine, bromine, and fluoride. So these molecules, the body just starts to like find things that can substitute because our body has all these workarounds. But those molecules don't do the same job as iodine. They're actually inflammatory and they're not healthy for you. So if you have never supplemented with iodine, you probably are deficient. But I'm getting a little bit off track here. So I want to get back to this liver thyroid iodine connection and how the liver supports the iodine, the thyroid. So the liver is a major converter of thyroid hormone. So the thyroid, located right here, makes thyroid T4. So T4 has 4 iodine molecules. But that's not the active form. Then it goes to all parts of the body, like the muscles, skeletal tissue, and the liver, and the gut microbiome, and it gets converted into the active form, T3. The liver plays a major role in how this thyroid hormone gets converted into the active form. Because for one, if the liver is not working well, you're gonna have more toxins circulating in the body, you're gonna have more estrogen, and that impairs the thyroid. So the thyroid might not be working optimally if you have more toxins in your body. Also, the liver converts thyroid hormone into the active form. And if your liver is really sluggish, you're not going to get that activated form. The activated form of that thyroid molecule goes and tells your cells to make energy. It's like fuel. It's like the messenger that says, let's make some energy. Like let's do something here. If you don't have that thyroid hormone, your cells aren't getting the message to make energy. So it's a really important molecule. The liver, like I said, it helps clear excess estrogen. If you have too much estrogen circulating in your body, that gets in the way of the thyroid. It helps produce proteins that transport the thyroid hormone. So the liver also does that. And it just like keeps your blood clean. And if you have too many toxins, you're going to have a lot of inflammation in your body. And then you're going to have some more of what's called reverse T3, which is sort of like, it's like the opposite of activating. It actually makes it like not usable. So, and when you have lots of reverse T3, it means you have lots of stress in your life. You have lots of inflammation. You're not sleeping well. Okay. And so if that's the case, then you're not gonna have a lot of activated thyroid hormone, and you're just gonna feel tired. It's gonna affect your brain. It's gonna affect every single cell in your body. Okay. Now, how the thyroid supports the liver. So we have this sort of team. They're a team. They like work together. Your thyroid supplies the message to the liver to do its job. So if you don't have enough active thyroid hormone, the liver is going to slow down. We don't want a slow liver. We want a fast liver. We want a liver that's working at its peak performance, like optimally. And then if your liver is slow, that's going to impact your liver's ability to make bile and to make enzymes that can help digest your food, to clean your blood, to keep your colon nice and clean. So it has a big impact if you're not getting enough of that thyroid hormone. Now, where iodine fits in, like I said, is you need 4 molecules of iodine to make T4, and then when it becomes active, then it like the activated, so these iodine enzymes cut off one of the iodine molecules. But you need, like, if you don't have enough iodine, and we're slowly getting depleted every year because there's not enough in our soil, there's not enough in our food, and if you don't live on a coastal area, you're not breathing iodine from the ocean. And so we're just getting more and more depleted. Plus we have all these competing halogens like chlorine, bromine, and fluoride. It's found in our air, in our water, in our food. So a lot of flour is brominated flour. You find a lot of bromides in fire retardants. So if you get new furniture or carpet, anything like that, chlorine's in our water, fluorine's in our toothpaste. We have so much competition that it's like bumping iodine out of our body. So that's what's happening. So we are really iodine deficient, but our body is making do with whatever it can. And so if you're feeling cold hands and feet, you're losing your hair, you just feel tired, you have an inability to focus, you feel like you have estrogen dominance, you're just like struggling with like weight gain or afternoon slumps, iodine could actually be your missing link. So like if you're on thyroid medication, but it's not really working, it could be iodine, or if your thyroid medication is making things worse. So now here's some signs that you have this broken connection, like this power team, the thyroid, the liver, and iodine, that this team is dysfunctional. So like I said, fatigue that doesn't improve with your thyroid medication. You feel sluggish, your digestion is slow, you feel constipated, you're getting bloating, cold hands and feet, low body temperature, you have brain fog, slow thinking, inability to focus, you have a weight loss resistance, you're having like heavy periods, PMS, you have estrogen dominant symptoms like tender breasts, and you're just gaining weight around your hips and the back of your arms. It's another sign that you have a lot of estrogen. So let's talk about what things are going to make this worse. So if you are going to over restrict your carbs or go low carb, that actually backfires, because your liver and your thyroid need carbohydrates. It's like a positive signal to your thyroid and your liver that things are good, and it lowers cortisol, which helps your thyroid and your liver. If you're fasting too long, you're skipping breakfast, this can make your liver thyroid situation worse. If you've got exposure to a lot of toxins like mold, if you're just like at a polluted area by a golf course, sometimes can cause more toxins because you're breathing in all of the glyphosates and everything, whatever they're using on the grass. You're using skincare that is like has a lot of chemicals, you're cleaning products, you're drinking tap water, you're eating food that is like has a lot of, we can't eat pure food. It's just not possible. But if your food has a lot of ingredients in it, you're introducing more toxins. If you're ignoring your bile flow after gallbladder removal, that could make it worse as well. If you have trouble digesting food after gallbladder removal and you are not doing anything to support your bile flow, then that could be making it worse. Or you're taking iodine without the proper precautions. So we don't want to do any of that. Now, then I'm going to talk about a 3-step fix for a strong liver thyroid iodine connection. So number 1, you have to start supporting your liver with things like protein, making sure you get 100 grams of protein a day, cruciferous vegetables, beets, lemon and citrus fruits, leafy greens, more fruits and vegetables. So fruits and vegetables have antioxidants that help support your liver. Protein supplies some really important amino acids that help your liver to detox. Number 2, nourish your thyroid. So your thyroid needs certain nutrients to be optimally healthy. So it needs a lot of co-nutrients to make iodine, or to make the thyroid hormone. It needs selenium, it needs zinc, protein, vitamin A, and progesterone. So if you're low on progesterone, that can also affect your thyroid. You also want to manage your stress and avoid overtraining. So if you've been under a lot of stress, and you're also adding more stress by working out too much, not sleeping enough, not eating enough, that is going to, if you're not, that's going to make things worse. So what you want to do is take your stress down, take your training down if you need to, and really support your nervous system. And number 3, we want to use iodine safely and wisely. So I have the 7-day iodine boot camp, which teaches you all about iodine, why it's like feared, why people are afraid of it, teaches you the history of iodine and how to supplement it safely. It's also, the iodine protocol is also in Metabolism Tune-Up, which is my premium program. And so you have access to that if you have Metabolism Tune-Up, so you can follow that protocol, which includes a salt flush and includes some co-nutrients before you start taking iodine. It's really important that you pair iodine with selenium, magnesium, vitamin C, and B vitamins. So those are really important nutrients to help your thyroid and to prevent any kind of detox reactions. You want to start slow and increase gradually and monitor your reactions, because if you take too much iodine at once, you can actually start flushing out a lot of toxins from your body, and it can overwhelm the liver, and then you can get headaches, rashes, you can feel like depression, anxiety, things like that. So we want to go slow. So I would love to know, after you've been listening to this, if you feel like this could be maybe part of your bottleneck. Do you feel like it's your liver? Do you feel like it's your thyroid? Do you think you're iodine deficient? Let me know in the comments if you think you have one or more of this like power team that is maybe lacking, or there's some dysfunction going on. I would love to know that. And I want to encourage you, if you're a metabolism tune-up, to really go back and listen to the modules about the liver, about your thyroid, and the iodine protocol, because this iodine like has the ability to make a massive impact on your energy. And like I said, like if you have cold hands and feet, you have brain fog, you have low energy, you're just like stuck, then this liver, thyroid, iodine trifecta can really make a big difference for you. And if you're not in metabolism tune-up, let me just tell you about it. It's my premium program that helps women with no gallbladder, fatty liver, or an MTHFR variation improve energy, improve sleep, improve metabolism, and then weight loss is a natural side effect of improving your metabolism. So you can check that if you want to. It's in the link below. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.